Hello students, today we discuss about the systematic position of Nephrolepis. The classification system which is followed for the pteridophytic plants by the G.M. Smith. So this Nephrolepis plant comes under the group Pteridophyta. That means it characterized by the land plants. Sporophyte is dominant. Sporophyte is differentiated into stem and true leaves. The well-developed vascular tissue system, that's why it is first vascular plant, and sporophytes are mostly herbs from dense bed of the plant. So as you know, in previous or primitive groups like algae, fungi, bryophytes are the aquatic groups. In pteridophyte are the first land plants. In that, the sporophytic plant body is the dominant, and the sporophyte is differentiated into the stem and true leaves. In that groups, the vascular systems are the well developed. That means it is the first vascular plants, and the sporophytic plants are the mostly herbaceous and they forms the beds of the plants. Then the Nephrolepis comes under the division Pterophyta. The Pterophyta is distinguished or it is characterized by the distinct alternation of generation. That means it in that group the sporophytic and gametophytic generations. So sporophytic generation is dominant, diploid, asexually reproduced and independent. Gametophytic generation is recessive, haploid, sexually reproduced and independent. So as you know, you have already studied the sporophytic and gametophytic generation in Pteridophyta group. Both are the independent. The sporophytic generation is dominant. It is asexually reproduces and it is diploid in stage. The gametophytic generation, that means they produces the spores, so it is sexually reproduced. It is haploid in stage and it is recessive. Then these Nephrolepis belongs to the class Felicinae. Felicinae is characterized by commonly called ferns. Sporophyte bears the sporophylls. At the margin or abaxial sides of sporophylls, sora are present, and it is homosporous and heterosporous. So as you know, all the pteridophytic plants are also called as ferns. In this, the sporophyte plant body bears the sporophyll. That means on the abaxial sides of the leaflets or pinna, these sora are present at the ending of the veins. So in sora, they are similar in structure or different. If they are similar, it is called homosporous. If the spora or spores are different, then it's called as the heterosporous. So in Nephrolepis, the all spores are same, so it is homosporous. Then the Nephrolepis comes under the order Felicinae. It characterized by the mixed sporangia. Sporangia is with capsules and stalks. The capsule is with annulus and stomium. The spore mother cells are definite, mostly 16. The definite number of spores, mostly 64. So as you know, in the sporangia, the sporophytic body contains the capsules and stalk. In the capsules, there is the spore mother cells, and which is covered by the capsules or annulus cells. These cells will be helped in the breakdown of the capsules, and they will be helpful for the dispersal of the spores. So in the capsule encloses the spore mother cell. So mostly 16 spore mother cells are present in these capsules, and they produces about the 64 spores. Then the Nephrolepis belongs to the family Polypodiaceae. Polypodiaceae, it is characterized by the dimorphic stem, that is stolon and cortex. That means it contains the two types of stem. One is stolon and cortex. So first, in external morphology, we already discussed about the stolon and cortex. Some aerial stem are present, and at some point they will be touched to the soil, and they will again grow as new leaves and pinnas. So in this Nephrolepis, two types of stems are observed: aerial or stolons and cortex. The pinnately compound leaves are present in this group. Then leaflets are called pinnae, sporangia with stalk, and monoecious gametophyte with archegonia and antheridia. So you have already seen the external morphology of the Nephrolepis. So in that, pinnately compound leaves are there, and these leaflets are also called the pinna. In sporophyte, the capsules and stalks are there. It is a monoecious gametophyte, that means the antheridium and archegonium both are present on the same gametophyte. Then next is about the genus. So genus Nephrolepis, the distinguishing characters of the Nephrolepis is kidney-shaped sorus, then sorus covered by the endoecium. Spores are kidney-shaped. All spores are similar, that is homospores. So this sorus, it will be kidney-shaped, and it is covered by the endoecium. So endoecium, it is as a purpose of the protection to the sporangium. So and another character, that is the spore homospores. That means the all spores are the similarly observed in the plant Nephrolepis. Then about the occurrence. So mostly in terrestrial marshy places or shady places, this Nephrolepis plant is observed. Also, it prefers the moist, damp, moisture conditions. It also grows on the trunk of the trees walls where the moist, shady places with humid atmosphere. So these Nephrolepis plants mostly observed in the shady or moist or damp conditions. Mostly, if you see the large trees or walls of or compound walls, on that some pteridophytic plants will be grown. In Murud also, because in rainy season here humid condition, so lot of or many numbers of the pteridophytic plants you can easily observe in your area. Then distributions. It is cosmopolitan. It distributed throughout the world, and it is present at every corner of the world with varied climate. So these pteridophytic plants are observed in everywhere with these or they will be distributed throughout the world and in different climatic conditions. So this is all about the systematic positions or classification of the Nephrolepis plants.